Hello and good evening.
No, our music.
No, you're good. You're good, Aaron. Let me get the. No, you're fine. Aaron hasn't been here in a while, guys. He's excited to start the A show.
But you said the broadcast is live now. You said the broadcast is live, so we're no. Because you know what, Colin, I'll give you a cue to hit it.
You do it. Hit. Let me. Hey, I like the soft tease here at the start of the show. It's very SNL like. Yeah. With Norm Macdonald having died today and everything. I like.
Oh my God! Right? Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I know.
I will pull out, and you do what you do, Aaron.
So I do the same thing. Trust me. Hello and good evening. Welcome to a very, very special edition of the A Show. It's been 2-3 weeks since I've been here. April has been. She's been holding the fort down. April has the record for most A shows hosted in history. She has beaten the dog crap out of my record by about 3 to 4 episodes. So that, again, kudos to April and thank you for hosting. But we have a very special guest, the current NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Trevor Murdoch, and a dear, dear friend of mine. And we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit about our personal journeys. And we're going to talk a little bit about the week I spent with him and his family in the town of Eldon, Missouri. So we have a wonderful A show coming up. Colin, if you will please hit the music, we will get things underway.
Welcome to the most important podcast you are listening to right now. The A Show with April Hunter and Aron Stevens.
Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome if you're just joining us to this episode of the A Show. I am Aron Stevens, and of course, this is the lovely #1 host of the A Show, April Hunter.
Hello, hello. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing such a great job of hosting, locking it down while I was gone.
So this is the first time you've been back in almost a month. Like, you've been on some adventures, right? So you've done pay-per-views, photo shoots, you did a film, you have done appearances, you're out in LA,
conducted an operation and abandoned. I mean, we're going to get
a sting.
Got a sting operation. It's been quite a journey. I am so happy to be back. And April, honestly, thank you for just making the show awesome like you always do. The show did not miss a beat without me gone, which #1 says how disposable I am, but #2 is testament to it's testament to how awesome you are, and I enjoyed all the episodes. Big thank you to Lori for coming on and hosting. That was amazing. I just let's see. First, I was shooting a movie up in Albany, New York. Very, very interesting location. It was at a state park. The actual name of the state park slips my name, but I've been to Albany probably 100 times in my life or close to it. Some of the most beautiful scenery this country has to offer. It was just incredible. We were filming behind a one of the scenes was behind a waterfall. And so the waterfall, it was probably, I want to say, about 400 feet. I mean, it was just massive, right? And we're filming in the cave behind the waterfall, but we're eating lunch and we saw hawks circling treetops beneath us. So we were looking down on the hawks. They were circling it, and then just amazingly breathtaking scenery. There was an issue with some bees. No bees were harmed, but the bees did not like us in their territory. I'm not going to give away too much about the movie, but it was an interesting thing. Had a great time at NWA. Of course, Kratos and I are no longer the NWA tag champions, but all's well that ends well. We're still a team. And Yeah, it was just a very, very interesting few weeks.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and the reason I wasn't hosting last week is because I was coming back from Eldon, Missouri.
And what's in Eldon, Missouri?
Eldon, Missouri is the home of Trevor Murdoch and the Murdoch family. And so after we filmed at the Chase in St. Louis, which was, by the way, I tell you what, I remember I was in kind of the gorilla position, which for you non-wrestling people is the position that you're at right before you walk through the curtain and go out in front of everybody.
Wait, why is it called that way?
Because of Gorilla Monsoon. That was what he used to sit there and tell people when to go and time the show out. So, so I was there and I was just like, wow. Like I said to Billy, it was like, I can't remember the last time I've had goosebumps. And it was just such an amazing energy. Incredible energy there. The only thing I can equate it to is MSG, if we're being perfectly honest, just because of it was like we all knew like the history, the tradition in that building. It was really, really cool. I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting my hair. Trying to be on point.
So I'll have a hair adjustment.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, who haven't been here before, when Aaron swears, which is very, very rare, we drink a shot.
Yes.
You must drink a shot.
It doesn't have to be alcohol. If you're not a drinker, it can be Diet Pepsi or whatever, which is probably worse for you than alcohol, but tastes awesome. I'm kidding. Diet Pepsi's not I don't know. I'm not a Diet.
You are kidding because Diet Coke is where it's at.
Yeah. Well, no. Oh, we have a Fago comment. Yeah. Right. So yeah, no. That's been it. What's been going on with you, Apes? What's the haps?
Well, first off, welcome everybody who is here. I see you guys in the chat. Hello, hello. Secondly, I have a fantastic shirt from Fred, and I just want to share it with everybody. How awesome is that? It'll be good for pec flexing later.
Yep.
And notice, yeah, smart. Is the
wow. Yes.
So, yes. Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred. Awesome. It's awesome stuff.
I'm loving it. I'm also wearing my boxer shorts. This is a no pants podcast, and we recommend that you guys don't wear your pants. Also, it's definitely encouraged.
If you're in a room by yourselves or with
if you're in a room with lots of people, take your pants off. Who cares?
No.
So before we have Trevor on, I wanted to mention that I'm in Queens this weekend. So if you're up in New York, which is looking at like there's some interesting stuff going on in New York. I'm at Wrestling Universe in Queens from 12 to 2. I'm also doing a virtual signing in New Jersey from 8 to 10 at night, that same night on the 18th. And then I believe I'm in Allentown, Pennsylvania that Sunday. I don't know the details on that one yet. I just found out I was doing another piggyback booking there, but I will be in the Northeast next weekend. So I'm excited to be back. I haven't been back in literally years, so it'll be nice to see some people there. So yay. That's Allie who was on Saturday. So awesome. So
there we go. Yeah,
so I wanted to mention that. I wanted to thank people for coming to Daphne's tribute show. It was a very and thank you for sharing it, Aaron. That was a very that was a hard show to do, I think. I think it was a hard show for everybody, but thank you for being here for that, and for just thank you very much. Mm-hmm. I will also mention that we have an additional show this week. Long story short, it just happened this way, but we have Mick Foley on tomorrow from 3:45 until we have him on. We're going to do a day show from 3:45 to 4:45 tomorrow. So if you are around during that time, you can jump on live. If you are one of our patrons, we'll put it up there immediately and you can watch it in its entirety. And we love you, patrons. Thank you. And we'll probably put up some bits of it next Tuesday night also. So he is going to tell us what's going on with him with the shirt off his back thing that he is doing. He donated quite a bit of money toward Daphne's causes, and it's pretty amazing. So figured people would want to come, kind of join in and hear straight from Mick what he's doing. So we're going to have him on. So hopefully you'll be here. If not, you'll be able to see it one way or another. And that's about it. Which I just wanted to say thanks to you guys for all of that. And just thanks for being here. Thanks for being here tonight.
So cool. So appreciative. You know, and I think we have more people here than when I left. So it just goes to show me, like, you're bringing them in.
Well, they're sticking around. So thanks.
Yeah.
So in your state, you guys are doing your recall vote today, right?
Yes, we are. I do recall that.
So here's some useless information. 19 states are allowed to do a recall. So if the people feel that their governor is doing a shitty job, they can take that person out and do a recall. Mm-hmm. And fun fact, that's how Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor.
Total recall. Boom. It was right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With, I think, with about 48% of the vote. Anyone can get in after recall. Anyone. So, yeah, just thought that was interesting.
You threw me the softball.
So Eldon, Missouri.
Oh, yeah. And I think old Trevor should be getting ready to sign on soon here.
Oh, okay. So we have our NWA champion here. Woo! Welcome, Trevor!
How you doing?
Sorry, that just happened.
Trevor, this is April. April, this is Trevor. Congratulations. You both just met a cool person.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Who did I just quote there?
I think I met you before in the Indies.
Tyrus.
Ted Lasso.
Oh.
Who? April.
All right, man. Sorry. It's been a long day, brother. For real. I apologize. It's already been a really long day.
Yeah, but before we get into it, Trevor is now a Ted Lasso fan, April.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yep,
Huge.
that was April.
Huge. Yep. The wife actually hit me up when I got home from work. She's like, I'm all caught up on the episodes. Now we can watch them together again. Because I stay up a little later, so I tend to watch a couple episods. And,
you can't do that. That's cheating.
It is cheating, but we have a different set schedule, and I can't wait. And, I really dig the show. Aaron said when he told me, he goes, man, it's just positivity. That's all it is. And I was like, all right, let's check it out. And sure enough, like even the bad times are positive. So thank you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. This current episode they just did was, I think, one of the best episodes they've ever had. I don't know if you're caught up. And I'm give it away.
Season 2, episode 8 currently.
I don't know what number it is, but it was an emotional roller coaster, and it was like at one point I found myself like in tears. I was just like, "Oh my god, that's so sweet!" So
well, it's hard to find like good shows these days that you can connect with and you are full of positivity and not always about negative stuff. And again, I'm always laughing with Ted Lasso, and it's just a feel-good TV show. I hope everybody gets a chance to watch it because it's over with in my house.
Yeah.
So
cheap plug for Ted Lasso.
There you go. Aaron introduced me to Cobra Kai, which I had avoided watching for a long time. I just didn't think I'd be into it. And he's like, no, you have to watch it. And I was like, all right. So now I'm ripping through season 2. So he's right. It's good. That's another recommended show.
Well, you definitely have to binge shows like that. So
yeah.
Amen.
5 a.m, I'm still up,
So real quick, I know.
Here.
Oh no, sorry, Apes, go ahead.
I was just gonna say thank you for being here. Thank you for making the time to be here.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, I was pumped because this is your second interview you've done?
No, this is my first. You guys,
oh wow!
I was supposed to do another one, and I actually moved them back because I wanted this to kind of be my first one.
Holla holla!
Publicly. You guys are even on before the NWA post show, so as soon as I get done here, I'm gonna hop on there and nice. So you guys are number one. You guys are the first.
What kind of what kind of a time schedule do we have?
All the time in the world.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
So let's get to it. Right over your shoulder, I can't help but notice that little piece of merchandise, Sweet Charlotte.
Yes.
The NWA heavyweight title, which is again, the lineage of that title goes back farther than any other title in the world today, in the wrestling world today, anyways. The belt is so recognizable. and it's at the Murdoch home. So you know what, Trevor, I've known you for several years, right? Like over the last 2 years, we've become really good friends, but just, to go from
The Odd Couple would be.
Oh yeah.
It fit very well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
People, you got it now. Okay, real quick, I'm going to jump ahead. Now, Aaron went with me while he was in Eldon to go pick up my youngest child, who's 5 years old. Mm-hmm. And you have to stand outside and wait for the teacher. Because of COVID protocols, you have to wait till the teacher brings your child to the door outside, and then you meet them. Well, you can only imagine the looks in the small town that I live in when me and Aaron are standing next to each other, just waiting for another child. And then this little blonde-haired 5-year-old little boy comes out hugging both of us, and we each got a hand, and we're just like a merry old couple carrying my son back to the car. And I live in a small town, so I'm sure there were several eyes on us like, oh, what's Trevor doing now? Like, what's going on in his world? And me and Aaron, of course, we're just having fun with it, and jollily walking to the car with our kid.
Yeah, Aaron's always been one to wear pink and be very comfortable with his flamboyancy.
Yeah, but I'm not like that in real life.
No, you're not.
My father-in-law pointed that out specifically.
That's right, he did.
Right?
His father-in-law came in while Trevor and I were watching the pay-per-view for the first time, and it happened to be during my match. And he's like, "Who's that guy in the pink tights?" And Trevor goes, "He's sitting right in the couch." Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
It was an awesome moment.
Yep, it was.
He's right there.
So your son is named after your tag partner, your former tag partner, Cade, right?
Yes, I have two boys. One's a 15-year-old and the other one's 5. Well, the 15-year-old soon to be 16 in November. But when he first came in the world, we all, as wrestlers, I wanted to pass down something to him. So I passed down my wrestling / middle name to my oldest son. So when my wife and I realized we were having another little boy, we had struggled to come up with names. And I don't know, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, Cade. And a buddy of mine had actually brought up, he's like, man, that sounds good. And I was like, yeah, that's perfect. And in my own little weird world, I have my own tag team, Trevor and Cade Murdoch, you know what I mean? It's so it's my own little kind of Easter egg to the world. But yeah, I named my youngest son after my tag partner. He would have, they're very similar personality.
I love that. I love that.
And it's just a little memory I have for the rest of my life. And it's a cool little story for my son when he gets older. If someone asks, how did he get his name? Because that was my dad's tag team partner. And so it's just my little memorial to my friend.
Such a great name too. It's awesome.
It is.
Yeah. And then, by the way, two amazing kids. Trevor Paul, I tell you, he is pretty much staring down the barrel of full-blown manhood. And you guys have done such an amazing job with him, both you and the wife. And it was just awesome to be able to hang with him and kind of get to, see his world a little bit, and high school football and all that. And then, Cade, it was great. We played Legos. And we did crafts.
He actually pulled you into his room to specifically play on the Lego table. He grabbed his arm. Yeah. Aaron's being a little modest. My son grabbed him by the arm and said, "Uncle Aaron, we're going to go play Legos." And Aaron's like, "I'm going to play Legos." Yeah. And so that's
had a tractor.
Yes.
Actually,
my children have been around the wrestling business. My 2 older children, so they're very comfortable. They see past all the TV stuff and all the glitz and glamour and just realize you're a human being. And that's what, my son, granted, Aaron, you have done amazing things and you're famous all over the world. But my son wanted to meet Aaron Stevens and hang out with Aaron Stevens. Yeah. And that's what was cool to him. You know what I mean? Because he knows the gimmick, you know what I mean? And for him, it's cooler to meet the real person and have a connection with the real person than just to say, oh, well, my uncle does this. You know what I mean? It's more important to him.
He definitely met the real me.
He did.
Yeah, he did. But you know, again, we have to end the show with our week in Elton. But before that, Trev, just, you know, again, with Sweet Charlotte staring at us right over your shoulder. And I just, you know, and I talked with April too, before we kind of get into this. So just to hold that title, to go from a young man that says, hey, I think I'd like to get into pro wrestling, to now holding, you know, in my opinion, the most prestigious title in the industry. What is that journey like? And I mean, you've had twists and turns. And so I just kind of turn the floor with you, and just anything, you know, you'd like to say. This is your first interview, so just kind of let you lay it all out.
Well, like when you were down here in Eldon, I showed you where the school was. I pointed out, I told you stories about us going through some grueling trainings and sitting on that very sidewalk, sweating and just giving everything you got so you could try to impress the 8-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. That's always, you know, it's always kind of like been my goal, is to impress him and to try to do things. But also in the same sense, I'm a very stubborn individual, and no was not an option for me. So when people would, let's just say, not be so gracious about me coming into a company, or you know, we live in a world where everything's judged by the cover of the book. And when you look at me, in the way pro wrestling is, I do not fit the mold physically. I don't look like anybody else. And I've been that way my whole career. I've never been a guy with abs. I've never been a guy that's been jacked. I always focused on telling stories in the ring. And thankfully, throughout 22 years, going through Japan and TNA and WWE, and I've been able to continue to tell stories throughout my whole career, which has kept me alive, in my opinion, and in front of the people. Am I making any sense here?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
Yep.
So now, because I've had to work so hard for everything, I never really got the payoff I wanted. You know what I mean? And that's a side note. As a wrestler, each wrestler, truly, both of you have a world title in your mind that's like the world title. Like, there's plenty of other titles, but to each individual wrestler, they have that one certain title. It's like, yeah, that's the one I would really want. NWA World Heavyweight title was my title that I always wanted. Even when I was in WWE, I was never wanted to be world champion. I wanted to be world tag team champion. I wanted to be intercontinental champion. But I never wanted to be world champion. That was the world title to me. So to be absolutely honest with you, I had no interest in moving up any farther than where I was at while I was with WWE. And that may be a little narrow-minded, but that's the championship.
It is.
That's the one everybody wants.
Yeah.
So why do I, and I know this sounds horrible, but why do I give a shit about anything else? Because that's the man's title. That's the one that even every wrestler looks at that title and says, that's the one I want. Even the guys up there up north, they all want to be that guy. So to me, in my opinion, there was nothing less. But as you guys know, the NWA fluctuated, and there was a huge down period. And when Billy Corgan took it over, and like Nick said in this last Power episode, they asked me to come down for one episode. In the back of my mind, I was like, oh shit, like, we could really do this. Like, this could really happen. I just, like any other business, we've had ups and downs, and we know how to not work the system, but we know to not get excited about anything until it truly happens. So I just tried to be as humble as possible and be thankful for every opportunity. And when I seen an opportunity, I tried to make the best of it. And sure enough, I found the right path. And I also spoke up. That's the one thing that I can say is different from this time from every other company. I always had this idea that you guys brought me in. You guys know what I can do. You know I'm not a body, so you know I can wrestle. So I'd always kind of let them take control and let let the office can take control, and whatever they wanted to do, I was a team player. with NWA, I just kind of felt like this was my one moment. Like, this is my time. I'm going to do something different here. And I'm going to make sure that if this doesn't work out, it wasn't because I didn't speak up and say, hey, listen, I'm the right man for the job. Put me in this spot. Let me wrestle these guys. Let me put on a hell of a show. And lo and behold, I just kept moving up, working harder. And before you know it, I got my shot at Nick Aldis.
And, again, in addition to that, like, you get your shot at Nick, but it's in your backyard, right? It's at like the first time in 30 years we're at the Chase where Harley, who, again, trained you, broke you in, made you who you are today, where he wrestled so many times and essentially built that house.
Yeah.
And, that, and to add too, I just want to share a quick little anecdote, or not an anecdote, but a little tidbit rather. When you were saying about that title, how when you and I were doing one of our laps around town, you said how Harley had his NWA title in the glass case. And, you'd go and you'd look at it and everything. So I think that's super cool.
Sidebar, my case is on order. That's why it's on. I'm just letting everybody know. Everybody that's going to watch this show, he doesn't care about the title. He put it on the dresser with got my case coming, guys, but he's got to understand I'm a little behind.
You are totally allowed to swear here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yep. I've learned to bleep myself having children, so it just comes out naturally. Like if I'm going to drop bomb, it just stops. It happens.
But it was just cool. It was cool to see, like, every day going into school, and you'd see the title, and now you brought the title back to Elman, which is so amazing, and it was just so incredible. And I know I was like the second guy to hug you when you came through the curtain, or third guy to hug you. I was in tears. It was when you won. It was such an emotional moment with your family in the ring, and just it was everyone in the back was choked up. So
it could not have been. You couldn't have wrote that story. Like you couldn't have wrote it in a book and went as perfectly executed wise from everybody. From Billy Corgan to the production guys to every wrestler to the females the night before killing it on
Empower. My God, yes.
I'm gonna tell you what, ladies, any of the wrestlers that was watching that show, I'm gonna let you know right now, because a lot of the boys ain't gonna tell you, but y'all put us on nervous level, because when they went out on Empower and killed it like that, all the boys in the back looked at each other and like, shit, God damn, God. They fucking killed it. But we got to go out there and step it up. And of course, everybody at 73 went out there and took it to another level. It was the closest thing to magic in pro wrestling I will ever experience. Aaron, you and I have talked about the business and psychology and the magic moments that we try to create throughout our career or in a certain angle. I literally just a magical moment to win the world title and look directly over at my wife and kids, because my son's 15 just bawling, my wife just bawling, my 5-year-old looks over and he just starts crying because everybody else is crying. My best friend, Bull's there, and he's tearing up. All these people, what a lot of the fans don't see and understand is those people, my family, the reason why it meant so much to me is because they're the ones that are really sacrificing for me to live out this crazy dream of being this pro wrestler and certainly becoming world champion. My wife has had to pull a lot of slack, just whether it be I wasn't around or I was hurting and had a bad day. And of course, grumpy Gus, kids, taking care of the kids. My wife loves to cook. Aaron, as you can see, like she eats an army. So like she really has had to deal with a lot of that stuff. My children have missed, I missed out on birthdays and special events. My son, my oldest boy, he has been with me, Aaron, we've all done, and April too, we've all done the shows where we've been in an armory or a memorial, like some sort of small building that most likely shouldn't be holding a wrestling event. And we're changing in, I don't know, janitor's closets or makeshift locker rooms, sweating our ass off because air conditioned is not, I don't know, maybe it's not a thing in independent wrestling. I don't know, but like we can't have AC in independent wrestling.
Yeah.
But my oldest boy has been there through a lot of those rough shows and seen what Dad was trying to do to keep his name alive, to go out and wrestle and put on a good show for people. I talk about AC. It's funny. Like that was one of the first things when we walked into the Chase and saw the Coruscant Ballroom. My son goes, "Dad, you're going to have AC when you wrestle. Like, how cool is that?" And I was like, "Yes, sir."
That's something Arn would say.
You know you've made it when
that's like
air conditioning.
Yes.
That's something that Arn would say. That's a total Arn thing. Like when you go to the building, got the AC? Good.
Goddamn, we got an AC.
Yep.
It'd be a good nap, boys.
Yep. Have to. Yeah.
Oh God.
But he's seen me struggle, and he's seen, my kid can read too, like people don't always have the best things to say about me because of just the way I look. And I tell him to brush that shit off. You know what I mean? But he's still my boy, and that stuff, he's 15, that stuff gets to him. So for him to see the ballroom that not only are the building that Pappy, because that's what he called Harley. I got pictures of Trevor Paul with him in the showcase at the school and BJ, the wife, holding him. Like Harley was Pappy. So for him to see that building in that room and to know that was the house Harley built, and then to see me in there, and to see me go through probably one of the toughest matches I've ever been in. And he knows the gimmick, you know what I mean? So he was really concerned, but then to see it all pay off with the crowd and everybody counting for the 1, 2, 3, it was just as much of a payoff for them as it was for me. You know what I mean? If you look at the pictures, my wife is literally wearing one sandal because she ran out of her shoes. And instead of going back and getting the shoes, she's like, I just wanted to get in the ring. Mm-hmm. It truly felt like, like all my hard work had paid off, man. It was all worth it. And then of course, once you win and you get back to the locker, or you get back to the hotel room and everything calms down, you're like, oh shit, now I'm the world champion. Like I got a target on my back. Like and Aaron, I'm not joking. April, I'm not joking. Like the emails that I've been getting from all over, everybody wants a shot at the world title. And this is the first time I've actually brought it up. I took the 1 week home with you, when you came home, we just relaxed. I ignored emails and texts and stuff. And then when you left, kind of had a week for just me and the family to kind of just, just relax and enjoy each other's company. Now it's time to go back to work. Now it's time to start defending that thing and going against some of the real talented people out there in the business.
Awesome. That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
that's so cool. And
go ahead.
No, we go, Ames. Go ahead.
Somebody actually submitted a question for you, which you kind of covered some of that in your story just now, but Richard Vickery, I think. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I scribbled it down. I can't read my own writing. It's terrible. He asked what the highs and lows of being such a territory style talent and a champion in the modern era. He wanted to know what your thoughts were about that.
So I'm under the impression that because I'm an old school wrestler, he's assuming that I'm still stuck in like a territorial style wrestling. We're creating territories, in my opinion, in the NWA, but it's different from back in the day. We were, I think, as wrestling fans, for some reason, somehow we got conditioned that we have to only like one type of wrestling. Like WWE's got to be the one and only. you know, I can't like anything else, you know, but shit, like this is pro wrestling. Why can't you like WWE? Why can't you like AEW? Why can't you like NWA and just like it all, like pro wrestling? So in my opinion, we're creating territory still. It's just we're able to share the markets now. Whereas back in the day, you know, you couldn't go, you know, can't go up East Coast because then you got to talk to this person. You can't go to Florida without talking to Eddie Graham. You can't go to Kansas City without talking to Harley Race. You can't go to St. Louis without talking to Sam Munchnick. It's
sorry.
Austin Idol.
Oh, of course.
I almost wouldn't feel bad if you took it, to be honest with you, because I want to hear it.
Put it on speaker.
You know what? Wait a minute. Do you want me to do this?
Why not?
Austin Idol. I am on a podcast right now with Trevor Murdoch. You are on speaker. If you'd like to say hello, I can call you back. Whatever you'd like, but you are on speaker right now.
Let's slow down, cowboy. Are you saying I'm on the podcast?
Yeah, you are on the podcast. You called.
Am
You are.
Am I currently on the podcast? Yes or no?
Yeah, that is a yes, sir.
Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
No.
No. What about Murdoch?
No, sir.
What's Murdoch got to say about that?
He said no. He said no, sir.
Does he realize he's under oath?
Absolutely. When you come on the show, you sign a waiver.
Under oath means?
Yes, he does.
He does.
Yes.
And so, what was the question, please?
He heard the question. If he's ever been a member of the Communist Party.
What was your initial question? We're going back to you.
Oh, I just said, may I call you back when we're done with the podcast? But if you have anything to say,
yeah, you can call. Of course, you can call me back, or I can stay on. I mean, you know, what's my compensation if I stay on?
Well, the thing is, with
that is Austin Idol.
Yeah, we're low budget. We're low budget.
Yes,
so
we're
assuming,
really low budget.
I'm assuming then I can call you when we're off the air because you're not going to give us the right.
Pro bono.
Yeah,
yeah. We pay you an exposure. It's terrible.
On this side of the tracks.
Yes.
Trevor, no insult there on this side of the tracks.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I got thick skin.
It's a cold, messed up world, you know, but that's what makes it so beautiful.
Absolutely, yes. I will call you back when we're done the podcast if you want.
What will be unavailable?
Absolutely, I know. I know.
Austin's done a run-in.
Yes. So
he has done a run-in.
We will talk later, sir.
Maybe not.
Okay. Well, I either way, I hope you have a lovely evening, and I hope to talk to you very soon.
I don't believe you.
Well, I'll work on my lying skills then.
You're doing pretty good.
Thanks.
You're really doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, listen, have a beautiful podcast, and I hope I brought something to the table that might enhance it and maybe get more listeners. You know, that's what I do. Get more listeners.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Bye.
Peace and love to everybody.
Back at you.
Peace and love.
Okay, bye.
Peace and love.
Did you see what?
That's
look
awesome.
what Fred said. At FanFest, Austin Idol told me to get out the wallet and buy something.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody trying to work for free.
No, and how cool is it though? Like, you know, it's funny, right? When to the fans question when he was talking about, and then were you done answering, Trevor? Like the but
No.
okay, yeah, like about territories and things like that. Like what makes everyone different, and just to kind of back up what you said, right? To where if you watch our product, we are not WWE, we're not AEW, we're not ROH. Like we are our own thing, and what we do, in my opinion, better than anyone else is pro wrestling. In terms of like as far as characters go, I would put our roster up against any roster currently in the wrestling world today in terms of, you know who the good guys are, you know who the bad guys are, and every single one of us is different. And that goes men, women, the managers, just everyone. And it's awesome.
And we're given the promos, I think, are what also the pro wrestling part we got on point, but our promos I think are also what make us different from anybody else too, because bro, you've been back there. There is no long scripted sheet, and you have to say this, and then you have to wait for this person to say this so you can respond with this. And it's the most generic, uncomfortable, just
yeah.
And NWA says, Aaron, you're wrestling this person, you pissed off, go do it. And you're like, okay. They give you a pen and pad of your mind and imagination, and they let you go out there and create. And I think people see the realness of what we are and who we are and what we're trying to be. And I feel like you said, I think we're going to be a cult classic. We're going to be a hidden pleasure for people. Like, oh, I don't want to like NWA, but I like NWA.
We are ECW in the mid to late 90s. And I think before too long, if we stay the course, you never know where we're going to end up. But I mean, I would put our product on
you mean your cult level kind of thing?
Well, yeah, but like in terms of the actual product of our show, like I would put our product on a national network today. Like, absolutely. I mean, just from the talent to Austin Idol, like him, he just came from years of just being away. He comes back and he's with Tyrus, who the man is paid to talk on the most watched show in cable TV. He is literally on the most watched show in cable television or cable news. And, but he has a manager, but yet the two of them, like the interaction between the two of them is amazing because they're there for the same thing. And then the development of the younger talent, like putting a Jordan Clearwater, like that's the old school way of doing it. Like that's how you learn,
Well, and you put you're absolutely right, Nick. That's how, like, the wheel's not broken. That's how it's always been. You take the younger talent, you put them with experienced talent so they can A, get the rub, B, get the experience, and 3, they get the car rides. Yep. That's what I think's missing, because you get in a car ride and you're like, man, I got 200 miles to my next town. And that means you got 200 miles of that guy telling you, this is what we did wrong. This is what we did right. This is what we got to work on again. That's where you really learn, is those long ass car rides that you're basically stuck in a box with somebody and you're all just like, okay, we're going to talk about this right now. And we're going to talk about how to make you better. And NWA is smart enough to realize that the wheel isn't broken. Why, you know what I mean? Like, it works. Why change it?
Yeah. So it's an awesome thing. So now,
yeah, I know you're wanting to get to it.
Moving on.
You're over here shaking like a fiend, going, "Come on, Trevor, let's get to it. I've been wanting to talk about it. Come on, baby. Give me
moving on.
Do we have pictures?
We had two amazing. Oh no, there's no pictures. Well, actually, there was two.
There's some glitter pictures, but
yes, there are just
craft stuff.
Yep. So moving on to, we had two after the pay-per-view, 2 really good days of tapings. So it is now Tuesday night, and Trevor and I, we saddle up, get in the Mustang, and head to Eldon, Missouri. On the way there, we stopped. Yep, we stopped at Denny's, and we stopped at a Denny's somewhere, and the cook, who promised us a giant salad that never came.
What a rib!
But sat with us, like pulled up a chair, and this is like at what, 2 a.m. or something.
Well, you forget that first he asked us. He's like, "Yo, man, like I'm the only one here. I really want to go smoke a cigarette. Like, do you guys care if I just go outside and smoke a cigarette?" And we're like, "Go for it, man. Like, I don't care."
Yeah.
And then randomly, like, he just came in and pulled up a chair like he was having dinner with us and sat down and started telling us about high school and what else was he? Just some weird off the wall stuff.
Wasn't I like ribbing him or something? I was like rhyming my words and like trying to give him what I like when I left. I said something like
he's goading him. Aaron's trying to like rhyme he's rhyming back what the guy's saying, And the guy's not picking up on it. He's like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Like, yes. Boom.
Like,
yes. And I'm looking over at Aaron like, I know what you like. I know what you're doing. And Aaron's looking at me going, yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember like what I said on the way out, and you just popped like, because I was like, after we checked out, I said like, it was something stupid. It was like, yeah, make the money, take the money, but be careful you don't break for that money, or something like ridiculous that he just.
And the guy went with it. He's like, yeah, man, you said it.
Yeah,
you know, he was. I'm just shaking my head going, how do I get embarrassed? Like, people, like, how is.
But,
what?
But talked about a salad that he was like, I am going to make you guys the biggest salad. Like, you know, because you and I are both ranch guys, right? Have to.
Yes.
Nothing.
Totally. It was a total buildup of you guys want ham in it. We were like, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like we were built up. Like we were, everything's, yes, put it in there, man. Like, yes, this is going to be great.
Yep.
And then it's just like, he just forgot about it. Like it just brought us our other food.
Wow.
Aaron and I are looking at each other. And we're like, all right, well, I guess we went to the entree. We're skipping the old salad.
It's like a WrestleMania moment right there.
That something was open.
Yeah, and we had a good meal, had a good night's sleep, got up, and then it began. I first, because Trevor gave me a tour at night of Eldon, where Harley's school was, and it's not called Main Street, but it's like a main street, right? Like on a small town, like where all the buildings are there, and it's just this picturesque, like think John Mellencamp small town video, amazing. So across the street from where the school was is the place called, it's not Whistler.
Whittles.
Widows, right?
Whittles.
Yes, Whittles. When I say, in April, I've talked to you about this, in terms of this has been probably the best food trip of my life, and I'm not kidding. I had the best goddamn chicken sandwich I have ever eaten in my life. And I'm talking, we get up, and we slept in a little bit, but we go there. Trevor Paul was with us.
He was miraculously sick that day, if you remember, right? He was
yes,
but Dad, I'm not feeling good. I don't think I can go to school. As soon as I tell him he can't go to school, where we going, guys?
Yeah. It was all right. It was okay. We got to hang with him.
Yes, we did.
So the actual chicken, it was fried. And it was about that big. Now, the standard bun was like, so the thing is hanging over on all sides, and you get to cut and sample it first with the fries, and the potato salad was amazing. And liked it so much, we went back later in the week for a second one. Incredible. He says it as if like we randomly strolled in there. I was instructed, Trevor, I have to go back and get another chicken sandwich before we leave town. Yeah, I did.
And that's their win. I was instructed we have to go back. So all right, fine.
I believe you, Trevor. I do.
And a footnote: Trevor used to own the bar. Trevor used to own the bar.
Grill, yeah, the bar and grill I took him to. It was the after I got let go from WWE. I didn't want to work for anybody. I took a year off. I didn't do anything but wrestle. But it got to be a point where we were looking at the old savings, and my wife looking at me going, maybe you need to do something soon, you know? And I said, yeah, I do. And so I ended up buying a bar and grill because I'm not a big drinker. That's one of like the little funny things about me and my character, my gimmick. Like everybody thinks I'm this backwood redneck that drinks all the time. I don't drink a lot. Just not a drinker. So I thought that would be a perfect business for me. I wouldn't give away my alcohol. I enjoy food, obviously. So I wouldn't be giving that away either. The problem is when you own a bar and you're working in said bar, you see the underbelly of everything. You see the Baptist preachers that bust everybody's balls for drinking, coming in the back door, staying in a small room that we've got, having beverages. I've seen relationships literally fall apart. I've seen people fall apart because they're coming into my business giving me $400 of their check a week, all while they're telling me why their wife is upset with them. They're losing their house and car. Their children aren't happy with them. And after a while, I would just look at them and go, well, maybe it's because you're giving me $400 a week in your check and sitting in here talking to me when you should be talking to the people you care about. And after a while, that became too much. Like I was just, you see it all there. And I'm like, man, I want to go back to unicorns and rainbows and shit. Like this sucks. So I was blessed to have somebody, Dave Whittle, came in and offered me a large sum of money for my business. And I said, where do I sign? And, I went back to being a regular Joe.
And he brought in the chicken sandwich.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
They've done Aaron, well, he talks about the food. It's normal to us down here. Number one, Aaron's my proof on why I'm a little thick in the mid region.
But you don't eat breakfast, and your wife cooks an amazing breakfast like that.
Well, I get it sometimes, you know.
I mean, like the morning I woke up and she handed me this. It was like a toasted pita, and it had like about, I think, like 3 poached eggs and then cheese and bacon and the sauce on it. I'm going like, what? Huh?
Wow.
Thank you. Oh my God. She's an amazing cook. I mean, like I tell you what, she was batting 1,000 in terms of the meal she was making. And an amazing wife, amazing mom. It was great to get to just kind of know the whole family and really hang with the whole family. That was just really cool. So.
Well, they really enjoyed you, Aaron, and I told you while you were here, like, once the family gives you the okay, man, you're locked in now. You're Uncle Aaron.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be back.
You better expect or receive, at least send a Christmas card every once in a while.
I actually picked out Trevor Paul's and yours Christmas gift yesterday, believe it or not.
Oh,
it's not a big thing, but it's something you can use all the time. And when you do, you'll be like, this thing just. It made life a little more convenient.
Will this be? Can it something I can use against the guy named Thieving Charlie?
Which segues us into the real shit. So
my name's Trevor. Here's the lob. Aaron, let's knock it out there, buddy.
So Trevor's family, they own some property in Eldon, right? There's some Murdoch family property going on right now.
35 of them, actually.
Yeah. There was a couple select properties, shall we say, that had some issues. One, I believe the gentleman had passed away. And there were some bastards, or I should say a couple sets of bastards that had been breaking into this house. And there were some cameras set up. Right, they had to.
We had cameras outside. We had trail cams outside. Had cameras inside. And this house happens to be one of the family members' dad that passed away. And the house, the gentleman was a hoarder, so there's a lot of stuff in there. But she wanted to wait. She wants to wait till winter before we go in and clear it out. And so the house is. Just kind of sits by itself. No one's in there. And the local, I'll just say local crackheads, local meth heads, and the rough individuals of Eldon, they have figured it out that no one's in there. So they've been breaking in. And when I mean breaking in, like they're not like breaking in one time. Like they break into a window and rip out the whole frame. And then I have to put the whole frame in, re-screw everything up, put 3/4 plywood against both sides, and I'll secure that window. And sure enough, the assholes will go to another window, and they'll break that out. So I'm constantly, and not just with this house, I'm the property manager of all these, and there's other houses that they're breaking into. So I'm constantly chasing thieves, and I'm constantly having to fix these houses to keep people from breaking into them. And there happens to be a gentleman. I know he's a thief in town. He's older, 50 years old.
Yep.
Rides his bike around town during
everywhere
the day to look at people's houses to see what's outside in their garages so he can ride his bike around at night.
And breaks into the sheds too. Remember that?
Oh. Yes, breaks into the sheds. So do you want me to tell him about the Thieving story or the Thieving Charlie story?
So, I do. But so this man, everyone, I know Trevor already said it, but this man is now in town referred to as Thieving Charlie, the Scourge of Fifth Street. I added the Scourge of Fifth Street, but I have to do something. But no, so there are many hoodlums around town. Thieving Charlie is like the main one. He's like the main draw when it comes to the hoodlums. He's the main heel that we've dealt with in terms of every time you go out, he's on his bike. And we could be 20 miles up the road and that bastard's pedaling. So we were doing some surveillance at about 1:30 in the morning. Trevor, I will turn this over to you. And if anyone out there, if Thieving is listening, and I don't think he is, but if anyone out there is fixing to go thieve, this is what may happen to you. Trevor, please.
Well, as we're driving around the town and going to checking different properties, I'm telling Aaron this story. I've told him about Thieving Charlie, but he really hadn't seen him yet. And sure enough, we go to drive by one of my properties, and there's Thieving Charlie riding his bike. So
your son, Hawkeye, Trevor Paul, Hawkeye.
Son, yeah, he goes, there he is, right there. And of course, me and Aaron, being older a little bit, I couldn't quite see him, and my son was spotted on. He's right there, Dad. And I'm like, where? Right there. Can you not see him? And of course, we got up on him and we seen him, and I said, Aaron, that's the guy. And Aaron's like, Jesus Christ, that guy looks rough.
1 o'clock, 1:15 in the morning.
Yes, it's old guys on a bicycle at 1 o'clock in the morning out in town. They're not traveling. They're doing something bad, and that's Charlie's MO. Well, Thieving Charlie was at a kind of an intersection where one street is my house. I've got a street right here, and there's a bunch of my houses are down there, and I have some abandoned houses and abandoned sheds. And then
there's a story about that after too.
Yes. You go up the street and you make a left, and I also have a trailer park with 8 trailers, and I have one gentleman that lives in that trailer park that I know is doing things he shouldn't be doing. I'm not blind. Stevie Wonder could see that this guy's probably cooking it, making it, or selling it. Either way. So I've got Aaron with me, my 15-year-old in the back. We're driving my Traverse, and I said, guys, he's going to either come to this trailer park, or he's going to, if he's not here in 15 minutes, he has double backed and went to the empty houses, and he's in the sheds, or he's back there and there.
Doing what he does best.
Yeah, thieving.
And we said thieving and weaving because he weaves in and out of on the streets on his bike. He'll do this thing where he cuts. So it was thieving and weaving is his motto.
He'll ride in between the houses and the people's backyards and hit different streets and stuff like that. So we calmly drive down to the trailer park, and we turn into the trailer park, and we're facing the road that we just came off of, so we could see the direction if somebody was coming. We turned off the lights. I still had the car and drive. We're just sitting there, and I was like, 15 minutes. If he's not here, we'll go back. And at 14:30, old Thieving Charlie comes strolling in on his bike. And he's looking down the road, like behind him, trying to see if anybody sees him. And he goes to roll into the trailer park and goes right to the same trailer that I know is doing bad business. And like the best Cops episode you've ever seen, we flip on the lights, pull up right up. I mean, I pull my car up right up to his bike. This man,
and he like,
because he was totally looking the other direction. Had no idea that, and when my son's 15, he's a large boy. So with his hoodie on, he looks like a large man. So we have now thrown the car into the Traverse into the park. and we three hop out of the vehicle.
You three must have been terrifying to come across because he's like 6'5" and 250 pounds.
I'm 6'4",
yeah,
260,
okay.
you know, so yeah.
And your son's got to be similar too.
My son's tipping 5'10", 5'11", so he's if he's got a hoodie on, you don't know that he's a 15-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we go to hop out, and I say a few choice words on what I'm going to do if I catch him there in that trailer park again. And in the most amazing fashion, there's like 500 yards, there's a stop sign, and he gets on that bike, and he is just pumping away, and he is hauling ass. And when he gets to
like
the stop
Grand
sign,
Prix.
that's when,
like pedaling like he was in the Grand, like Lance Armstrong couldn't have done this. And it was wet out too. Remember how the ground was a little wet and slippery? But this dude is just, getting it. Yep.
And he gets to the stop sign, and that's when he starts yelling, "I'll kick your ass. I'll get you.
Yep.
I'll beat you up and blah, blah, blah."
Bitch ass. I'll bitch ass.
I'm going to get you. I'm going to kick your ass. Because he's riding away farther.
It's Trailer Park Boys.
So we get in the car, and we're thoroughly laughing, and we're like, yeah, that guy got what was, he was up to doing no good. Bored of that. Then we were like, surely he's not. We waited probably a good 5 minutes, and we decided to go down the same road as Steve and Charlie. Well, I guess Steve and Charlie got so far, he just started pedaling real slow and thought maybe we were just gone. We started driving behind him, and he recognized us.
And he starts again. He started going again.
Started pedaling. He weaved into somebody's house. I'm going to go get my brother. Whatever, buddy. Didn't. We just drove on.
He didn't.
But that was the night I introduced Aaron to Steve and Charlie.
Yeah. And then there was another night that the abandoned house, the one next to, by the way, how is Izzy doing?
Doing fine. I collected the rest of his deposit, and
good.
He's doing well.
And just so you know, so it's not all bad. Like Trevor, in the community, he does he rented the house out to this kid. He's 19 years old.
Yep.
Right. He works at a Hardee's, really just could go down the wrong path. Like he could be Thievin Jr. You know what I mean? But is no, I want to work. He wants to make a better life for himself. And it was really cool to be there to see Trevor talk to him and hey, this is what this is. And, letting him know hey, I'm the landlord, don't mess with me. But at the same time, I'm on your side, I want you to succeed. And I just thought it was really cool because I don't know if this dude had too many people really either give him a break or just be kind to him. And it was really awesome to see.
Well, and we tend to live in a world where people, again, like I say, judge you by the cover of the book. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And what no one sees is this young man had been working at Hardee's in a fast food restaurant in a small town for 2 years. To me, that shows that's a shitty job. It's a tough job. And for him to stick it out and to try to save up money so he can get his own place and try to get his foothold in being an adult. And not to mention there's not a lot of places available. So I just felt like you were saying, Aaron, I just felt like this kid needed an opportunity, somebody to just say, hey, you got a chance, kid. Here it is. This is your place. And just like I told him, I was like, hey, man, I was your age. There's going to be times you're going to have people in here. You're going to have parties. Don't do it outside. Just be smart. Don't bring attention to yourself by the cops. Don't act like an idiot. Don't tear up my shit. But enjoy your life. Have fun. You know what I mean? This is your place. When you gave me rent, this is now your home. Mm-hmm. Make it yours. And don't I remember specifically the conversation got brought up to make sure that you handle your business and don't let a woman come in and try to control you and throw you off your path. And because I believe he had brought up that he had just recently broke up with his girlfriend because she had mentioned that he worked too much. And I was like, man, that's horse shit. You're at this age is when you need to be working as much as you can and trying to make a life for yourself and save up money. So It was just, I think that kid needed to hear some words of wisdom, not only from me, but from you. Just letting him know that, there's somebody on his side. You just got to work for it.
Yeah. And so do you want to tell the tale of the house next to him, of what we had to do that one night, just to make sure this goes? Because we have a couple, but this is how are you all enjoying this in the live chat, by the way? This is this is what we do when we're not in NWA. So
there's a house next to Izzy, the young man that we rented to, that's also our house, and I was told by my employee that somebody had broke in. So we had new neighbors move in next door to that house, which I happen to know who they are, and they're not good people. So it's just funny that they move in. We have somebody breaking in within the 2 days after they moved in. So me, Aaron, and my son again, we waited. It was probably midnight, 1 o'clock again.
Yeah.
And this was the first time like I'd taken my son out on something like this. It's not that I didn't. It's not that I try to keep him from stuff, but he's getting to that age to be a man, and he has to understand adult situations. And so before we even left in the car, like I turned around and spoke to him. I said, "Son, this is a moment where you don't question anything from us. If I put you somewhere, don't move, don't talk, just do what we ask, and so I know you'll be safe." So at 1:30 in the morning, me, Aron Stevens, and Trevor Paul Mueller are parked around the corner. We get out, we're all in black, and we're creeping over to this house. I put my son on the porch of the house, of Izzy's house.
Izzy's house, right next to it.
Yes, because I wanted him to be able to see everything, and also I knew he'd be safe. And if anybody, my son's also an amateur wrestler, so if anybody would come out through the front, my son would tackle him and tie him up into a knot until we got there. So now it's me and Aaron, and I did bring a pistol with me, not because I want to use it, because I want to protect myself and who I'm with. We creep into this house, and it's like every buddy cop movie you've ever seen in your life, where they're in a situation of trying to be stealthy and quiet, but we're stepping on every branch that cracks and crumbles. Mm-hmm. And like we're both looking at each other going, shh, fuck.
Yeah. I had a baseball bat and a giant flashlight, like trying to be smooth.
And he's swinging it around like he's Chuck Norris, like he's warming up outside the park. I forgot to tell you this too. Before we get out of the vehicle, me and my son are walking, thinking that Aaron's with us, and we look back, and he has got this like Bruce Lee moment that he's warming up.
I was getting fired up
with this bat, and
he's just doing his own thing over there.
He is. My brother is full mode. He is ready to kill.
He's focused.
Yes, very much so. And so, of course, I look back. What you doing? Come on, let's go. Come on. I'm fucking around over there. We creep around the back, and we see where they broke in. They broke in through the window or through the door window, and they've reached in and unlocked the door, and it's locked though, which tells me like possibly somebody could be in there. Usually thieves, don't break in and lock the door behind them.
Right.
So I look at Aaron, I was like, oh shit, like there might be somebody in here. So I do pull my weapon out, but
now it got serious.
Very serious. But you would have thought we'd have come more prepared. We only had one flashlight between the two of us, and it was my cell phone. So, of course, it looks like two bumbling idiots I'm trying to give him light so he doesn't step on nothing. I'm trying to use it to see what's in front of us. But instantly, as we go through the door, we went straight cops mode. He's over my shoulder with the bat, looking over my shoulder. I've got the weapon. We're walking through, checking the rooms. Go upstairs.
I was watching your text, too. I was like, making sure no one was coming out from behind us.
Yeah.
Yep.
We went up the stairs and he's down, like blocking the door, making sure no one comes through, you know. And then of course we didn't find anybody, which was I think it was a slight letdown. You know, I wasn't going to hurt nobody, but I certainly wanted to chase somebody off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was so, the excitement of what could happen was way more exciting of what did happen, to be absolutely honest with you.
Yeah.
It's like a vacation. It's like a vacation sometimes.
The night after that, or 2 nights after that, when we go back to the original house where the man, the gentleman had passed away, and they were breaking into the sheds. It wasn't Thieving Charlie. And how do we know this? Because we had 2 motion sensor cameras, 2 trail cams up, and we had pulled the trail cams after, and Trevor and I are hanging out at the house, and Trevor's wife, Amanda, puts the camera in the computer and is going through stuff, and we hear, guys, I got him. Within minutes, Trevor's mother-in-law is at the house, which is at the kitchen table.
It's like my wife put out the family bat signal.
Because,
and like, ding.
Yeah.
I'm talking aunts, uncles, mother-in-law, and we are full. Oh, and Josh.
Josh, ready to go. Josh, he had it. Like,
locked, cocked, and ready to go?
He just said, like, when we were talking, he goes, I'm locked, loaded, and ready to go. Locked, loaded, and ready to go. He was right there. And, also, and you were talking like a full CSI moment, like laptops are out on the kitchen table. Yep.
Like people are analyzing pictures, and I'm not joking. My wife is a very intelligent woman. I definitely married up when it came to brains, but when she gets on something, she will investigate that shit, down to the T. She'll get phone records. Mm-hmm. She'll get state IDs from looking at a piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Like, very.
I feel like I love this woman already between the cooking and
the
hospitality.
Yes, you would thoroughly enjoy her.
Yeah,
she's an amazing woman.
She sounds like my soulmate.
Oh, well, they are like, and what's funny is my wife even seen things. Remember, Aaron, we didn't see the 2 guys leaving the place. And my wife's like, hold on a minute. And she looked at the picture of the video and she's like, look, there's 2 guys. That's how we found out that there were 2 sets of thieves.
2 sets of them.
Into the same house.
Yep.
And I don't know if I guess they just don't know each other. Because there are 2 sets and then they're completely coming at different times. It's a really weird scenario. We actually, I won't go into too much detail, but 2 of the 4 individuals were identified. And I live in a small town, and I happen to be, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but toot. Everybody knows me in town because of wrestling. And it only took me a day or 2 to ask the right people who these gentlemen were, where they lived at. And I live in a small community, and the police officers are great here. But they tend to not focus a lot on that stuff. So around here, I know a lot of people may disagree with it, but a lot of folks won't go to the police officers. They'll just go directly to the individuals and handle it properly. And that's what's happened on 2 of the 4 guys already.
And we will leave it at that.
Yes.
That's usually the best way to go.
But Josh is, again, a great guy. I remember, when we went over the house, he just watching the Texas football game. Hey, man, how you doing? Aaron, nice to meet you. Hey, Aaron, how you doing, man? What was it, 5 minutes later?
Shoot it.
5 minutes, yes. 5 minutes later, after just meeting this dude, he comes out with an AR-15, a full-on combat assault rifle, scope, stock, hand, everything you can imagine. He goes, let's go. Went out to the porch.
But no ear protection, right?
No ear protection. No.
And Aaron's forgetting to tell you we were by a metal building while we were doing this.
Oh, that's so brilliant.
Yeah, like none of us put it together. Like no ear protection. We're right by this metal. Like literally the house has metal roofing for the outside.
So in the future, what do we learn? We learned flashlights and ear protection. Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Flashlights and ear protection. Okay. All right. Just checking. Just the lesson.
Yeah. The
definitely
AR-15
in the burglar bag.
Definitely
in the burglar bag.
All right. Just checking.
But it was so smooth the way I was expecting more of a kick, right? But it was smooth. It was just loud. But before I shot the AR-15, he busted out. It was from a John Wayne movie. I mean, it couldn't have been more. It was the tiniest. It was a 2-shot pistol, and like the barrel, there was one barrel on top of another, and it had a pearl handle. It didn't have a trigger guard or anything. And he goes, "Fire you some rounds." And like I had seen the movies with this. He goes, "But be careful. It's an older gun. It kicks a lot." So I'm like, and I've handled firearms before, but I'm like, okay, well, this thing I don't know, is it because it's so small and my hands are so big, it's going to jump out. I'm trying to be safe. I just met this guy. But it was a lot of fun, and actually shot your gun too. It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was smooth.
My 9mm stuff.
Really smooth.
Out there. The pistol that you shot before it's a late. They call it. I consider it a lady's pistol because it fits in the purse.
Yeah,
and it's got a 220. It's just 22 rounds, and basically what it's for is for, it's a very beautiful weapon, but it's for the ladies for putting their purse or putting a side pocket, and basically if somebody was trying to take advantage of them or hurt them at any point, they could pull that out. It fits very comfortably in their hands, and you put a 22 round in somebody that's standing 3 to 4 feet away from you, that's gonna hurt.
You see my face on the.
Yeah.
22 is so small. I'll take a 9mm. That's what I like.
Which I totally understand that, but the 22, I understand that 100%. But it's put in, it's a small, dainty gun for women who aren't used to firing weapons, and it sits in a purse, and it's just get the hell away from me. And I don't care who you are. You get shot with a 22, it still hurts.
Oh yeah,
yeah, of course.
Kicks worse than an AR-15.
But if I'm going to shoot somebody, I'm going to prefer to kill them. So
if you're in that position, I understand.
I
understand completely.
Then, to top it all off, after we scare the crap out of Thieving Charlie, do our little recon missions, fired guns, ate like kings and queens, bonded, played Legos, watched Ted Lasso.
Oh,
we did crafts.
There you go.
And the crafts were to support. Was it the
my wife?
Was it
my
autism?
She works for the state of Missouri, and they do like Christmas gifts for underprivileged people, and they just make little trinkets and stuff to give us little gifts, and she had to make 18 of them. And when you've got 4 rambunctious boys and men, I mean both my son and both me and Aaron, just full of energy, bumbling around the house, my wife goes, we're doing crafts, boys, let's get together. And of course we all, yes ma'am, and we all sat down and we did crafts and actually had a really great time doing it.
What have you got there? Oh, those mason jars are valuable, by the way. You can't get mason jars that often. Oh, that's nice.
Are you kidding me? Like they got them all over where I live at. I'll send you some.
Oh, I make candles, and an 8-ounce mason jars are really difficult to come by now.
Oh, well, maybe I'll have to send you some because I can get them down here like crazy.
Yeah.
Very cool. So.
Don't tempt me.
No. Well, Trevor, I mean, I know I'm
well-rounded trip down here. I gave you some historical facts. I took you on a thieving mission to meet the local underbelly of Eldon, Missouri. We actually had a full CSI moment with my family.
Oh.
You bonded with my children, even my daughter, if you remember, because you guys spent time together.
Yes.
Who is an aspiring actress in the theater. I took you to an amazing, I have to admit, like that Bandana's Barbecue was like off the charts for a chain restaurant place. It was off the charts.
$20. Yeah, I mean, I'm not kidding when I say this was probably 4 pounds, 5 pounds of food. It was like $20, but it was just the brisket, the ribs, chicken,
pork,
and then the
pulled pork.
Yeah, with garlic bread. Oh,
breaded okra.
Yeah. Oh God, what a meal that was! Right by Lake Ozark.
Dude, I'm getting hungry now.
I know.
You are actually. Before you leave, I have questions for you.
Oh no, I'm not going anywhere. I told you.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna say because we usually do about an hour, Trevor. But if you got to get up to the fam, whatever. And I also wanted to plug your T-shirts, which I just retweeted and did everything. So yeah, your first ever T-shirt.
Yes, sir.
Right. Pretty cool, man.
Got? What is it? Can we see it?
I haven't gotten it yet. They did. Okay. Collar and Elbow just posted and put them out today. They're trying to stay in track with NWA Power and 605. When I was with WWE, they never gave me any merch. When I was with TNA, they never gave me any merch. I never had any merch. I've never had even my own shirt. And I figured, well, shit, I'm world champion. Like, I need to have my own shirt. Like, come on. So I have connected with Collar and Elbow. I feel like I want to help support the boys a little bit, and I feel like Collar and Elbow focuses on the boys. You know what I mean? And the girl, you know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, yeah. We're the boys too. I get it.
Yes. and so
everybody's got a tough guy.
Yeah.
There it is.
Everybody's a tough guy until they meet one. I like that. That's badass.
I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy about that, and
it matches you. It does work.
I think it does. Everybody says I'm old school, but I just don't know how to be any other way. Like, this was just the way I was brought up in the business. This was the way I was taught to be around other people. This was the way I was taught to conduct myself. And I was told a long time ago, like, Trevor, not a lot of people are gonna like the way you wrestle, but the fact of the matter is, you know how to wrestle. And he wasn't talking about the fans. He was talking about, the business.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And, again, that statement can ring true for everyday life too. A guy like Thieving Charlie who has to pedal 500 feet away from us before he starts cutting a promo. Again, everyone's a tough guy till they meet one.
Yep.
Kick ass.
Yep. Kick ass.
I'll fuck you up.
Yep.
But you have to, like, as he's going away, like, it just gets fainter and fainter and fainter and fainter.
I get you.
That's what it was. And of course, we didn't do nothing but laugh.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a couple of quick questions for you, Trevor.
Okay.
If you're on we're going to call these the island questions.
Oh, shit.
Yep. You're stranded on a deserted island. You can only have one meal for the rest of your life. What is it?
Oh, my wife makes some really badass beef teriyaki with flat iron steak. Like, she cuts it up real like thin and sets it in teriyaki sauce. Then she makes this white rice, and I cannot tell you the explosion of flavor.
Yeah.
No, you had it, Aaron. I believe my wife made it for you while you were here.
Yep.
I'm a medium rare guy, and she bakes it, the steak, the strips with the steak. It's just an amazing meal, and I'm hoping that my wife is hearing this through the door, and maybe tomorrow.
Little Murdoch, is that Trevor Paul? He just said Lion's Choice, that's another one. That was our final meal.
Oh, my boy, totally. Yep, that's my son right
Trevor
there.
Paul, what's going on, man?
What's up?
He totally called me out. Like, I forgot to bring this up. I'm a food connoisseur, if you can't tell.
Well,
and in St. Louis. Okay. Well, in St. Louis, they have this franchised restaurant locally, and it's called Lion's Choice. And it's like, in my opinion, like the real version of Arby's, because there's no processed meats. Everything, like the roast that they are, like, you see it's come out of the oven, and you see them slicing it up for you, and it's medium rare, and they steam the buns, and they slap that roast beef on there, and they put a little seasoning on it. For me, I'm a horseradish guy. I like horseradish sauce. Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, I slathered that roast beef sandwich with it, and it's just an amazing amount of flavor and juices in the horseradish. And it was one of the things that oh my gosh.
I'm so hungry.
And I told Aaron, I was like, listen, man, if I don't take you anywhere else while you're here on this trip, I've got to take you to Lion's Choice. And we had gotten out late from the show, so they were all closed in St. Louis. So like we missed out on the way home. So I specifically we left early so I could specifically hit it before he went to the airport.
Did he try and put ketchup on it?
No, I had the au jus sauce.
Okay, all right.
You started with au jus, but you went back for ketchup.
Did he?
For the fries. No, for the fries. For the fries. Fries. I had ketchup for the fries, but I did have the Chipotle ranch that I experimented with.
He fucked up his sandwich, didn't he? I can see it on your face.
I see. Okay.
He committed sacrilege.
I bring him to this place. A beautiful, beautiful.
He does it to me all the time.
Medium rare roast beef with a little bit of seasoning on it, enough to not clog up the yard, but just to give a little flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I suggest horseradish because I asked him, like, do you like horseradish sauce? And he's like, oh yeah. No, I think there was a little. You went back for ketchup, butthole. I know you did.
For the fries. For the fries.
I was just kind of looking at you, being that bad
ketchup
friend. Going,
for the fries.
Huh?
Okay. That was a week ago today. Do you believe that? That was a week ago today.
Wow.
That was Tuesday. Yeah, that was a week. That was the last meal I had. That's crazy, man. Wow.
Okay.
But it's amazing.
Yep.
You have one song on this deserted island that you can listen to. It's the only song you get to hear for the rest of your duration on this island. What is it?
Ooh, man, one song.
One song.
Let's see here. That's kind of I will like just the one that pops into my head is I think everybody throughout life has like certain soundtracks. Like when they hear a song, it describes a certain point in their life, a certain time period in their life. One of the songs that pop up into my head a lot is Hoovastank. The Reason Is You.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Japan, I spent 6 months there in the Noah Dojo, and I'm the only American there, so I'm spending a lot of time by myself at times. Like I used to go to this KFC that played old Western music, like American music, and I would sit in there and eat like the longest 6-pack of chicken nuggets just so I could hear somebody speak English.
I was the only American at the A to Z dojo. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So for some reason, Hoovastank was really big at the time, and my wife had sent me over the CD, and I would just play that song as I'm driving to the country towns, all just lonesome kind of focused moment. And it was a song that I could hit replay and hit replay and hit replay and hit replay. And still today I could do it.
Can you sing a little bit of it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I know what you got to do. Nope.
She's put me on the spot too, Trevor, and I do the same thing.
Aaron has an amazing voice. He can sing country music like a country singer. He is amazing. Like we do.
I welcome and I respect the brass balls that you just laid out to call me out on that. But
I had nothing to do with that, Trevor. I had nothing. I swear to you, I did not know.
Sometimes we do wrestler karaoke.
No, he.
Okay.
Yep.
No, he.
I know. I'm no part of that. Not a karaoke guy.
No.
You can bring one grooming item from your bathroom, and it's not toilet paper. What do you bring?
Toothbrush. Like I know I'm a redneck and everything, but like I do chew a lot, and like I got like the good Lord didn't give me the straightest of teeth, and so I try to I got to keep things clean, and it feels weird in the morning times and in the evening times, and I just I gotta have a toothbrush.
But they are the cleanest of teeth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And one article of clothing may come with you on this deserted island. What would it be?
Well, like, I'm not a pervert. Like, I gotta wear undies. Like, I boxer briefs at least. Like, I can't let my Beans and Frank hang out for everybody to see. And,
well, you're alone on the island.
It's a deserted island.
Yeah, you're alone on the island. But then again, you don't want to get sunburned down there, so that's a smart idea. I don't want to look at
my Beans and Frank either. Like,
you're right.
Not like I had to get a woman to fall in love with me to like them. So why? I don't want to look at them.
And then sunburn. So
but I got it. Give me some underwear, DVDs or something.
That's it. Those are my 4 questions.
Well, Haynes, all right.
Yeah.
Remind me never to go on a deserted island with you, April. I can only imagine what we'd be wearing, listening to, eating, talking to.
It'd be weird.
Probably.
I'm weird.
You do what makes you happy.
What would you have? You probably have some kind of like Asian fusion stuff that like, right? Like some kind of Thai.
Me?
Right? Yeah.
I would have breakfast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would have, bacon, sausage, waffles, eggs. That would be my meal.
Okay. Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
So you're a Brenner individual. You'll eat breakfast.
Oh my God. You call it that. I call it that.
Yeah. It's Brenner. Yeah.
Yeah. It's better after 9 o'clock.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Wow. That's funny.
Oh,
I've never heard anybody else call it that.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. But, Trevor, anything else you'd like to talk about? Anything you'd like to promote? Thank you so much for coming on. This was so cool. This was a great show, man.
I just love talking to you guys. I appreciate you guys giving me a platform to talk about me and what's going on with my wrestling. And just, I'm on social media at Instagram and Twitter at The Real T Murdoch. I don't know how to, I'm on Facebook, but I don't know how to give people that. I don't know how to tell them I'm on Facebook. I don't know, you could say at The Real T Murdoch, but I don't know how to say it for Facebook.
Yeah. I don't either.
I'm the only guy. If people are trying to be me, they need to get a life. I'm telling you, there's only one me, and I got my pictures of my family, my friends, wrestling on there. So if you got any common sense, you can decipher who the real me is and who isn't the real me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and we can get your T-shirt over where again?
Collar and elbow. Use the use the code Murdoch, and then you'll get 10% off your T-shirt.
So, okay. Now, this is your
first wrestling T-shirt.
Yeah, this is Trevor's very first merchandise, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very first merchandise. So go buy his T-shirt. This is historic. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. Murdoch, 10% off.
Right on. Well,
all right. Oh,
Trevor, please give the family my love.
I will.
Here's the last thing. When we end a show.
Oh yeah.
Aaron has started a tradition. We Twitch on Twitch. Would you join us with that?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have to sing, do I?
No. It's the Twitch, the Peck Twitch, because it's a rating spike. Yes. Ready? Yep. 3, 2. Yep. There we go. Yep. Bam. Look at that.
I'm doing it. I just don't know if the old flannel letting it happen.
It is. We're good. We're good.
Awesome.
We're good. So that's the Twitch to keep our Twitch affiliates happy.
Yep.
That's the gimmick on there. That's the gimmick on there. But man, it was so awesome seeing you. And again, please give the family my love. Just an amazing wife, amazing kids, and just an amazing town of Eldon. And I'm definitely going to be back probably sooner than later if those bastards keep up the antics, because we have, we're ready for them.
Well,
that's the bottom line.
Bring April with you, and you guys come down and hang out, and I'll show you easy living down here and fatten you up a little bit.
Yep.
Can I have a baseball bat too?
Yeah, I got plenty.
Right,
bats,
I'll be there.
Knives.
I'm in.
Yeah, I got a kid who's an avid baseball player, so yeah, we'll line you up.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well,
machetes.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Trevor, for being on. Thank you, fans, for being here tonight. I also wanted to give a shout out to Alexa. Thank you for being you and
thank you.
Doing our social media. Thanks to Colin for being amazing. Just thank you all around. Love all around. We appreciate all of you. And that is our show tonight. Trevor, thanks. You're amazing. Aaron said you were going to be amazing. You were amazing. You are amazing. So thank you.
That's
Thank
so
you
awesome.
Guys, Yep, we are back again tomorrow with Mick Foley at 3:45 for a special one-time only show. So we will see you guys tomorrow. So thanks to everyone.
Bye, guys.
All right. Peace.